The notion that somehow radical Islam would be comfortable with simply controlling some province in Iraq or Syria is just not borne out by history.
We are all witnessing Israel annex land from Syria, from Gaza, from the West Bank, Lebanon. What is he even talking about? But guys, see, this is how the United States government, which is occupied by the Israeli government, works.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Hope you are doing well. Marco Rubio, the renowned US Secretary of State, has spilled the beans. He has said something that has shocked the entire nation. The people are taking his statements as 99% truth and only 1% lie. Why? His explosive revelation only requires the substitution of a single word with another, and voila, his whole statement become true. Want to know what he said? Let's view a clip from his recent interview.
The notion that somehow radical Islam would be comfortable with simply controlling some province in Iraq or Syria is just not borne out by history. Radical Islam has shown that their desire is not simply to occupy one part of the world and be happy with their own little caliphate. They want to expand. It's revolutionary in its nature. It seeks to expand and control more territories and more people.
While speaking to Fox News, Rubio launched a familiar rant, the same old script Washington uses again and again to justify endless wars and endless Islamophobia. Here, he can be seen saying that radical Islam is not satisfied with a small caliphate in Syria or Iraq. It wants to take over the world and expand its territory. Seems like a terrifying warning, right? And of course, why on earth would a channel like Fox News bother to debate these wild claims and warnings from Rubio? If they dare to question his claims, their funding would be stopped immediately. So it's much safer for them to just nod along with Marco's false spine-chilling tales. The type of language he used was designed not to inform but to frighten, to declare that Islam is a villain for the world. Kasparian, the well-known journalist, brutally slammed and exposed Rubio for his hypocritical statements and lies.
Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, is making that argument about radical Islam as we are all witnessing Israel annex land from Syria, from Gaza, from the West Bank, Lebanon. What is he even talking about? But guys, see, this is how the United States government, which is occupied by the Israeli government, works. They need the squirrel to distract you from the actual bad actor here.
So true. The actual bad actor here in the world is Israel. But this fake attempt by Rubio was just a distraction tactic to make Israel look good and the ones whom Israel is attacking as bad. Because the description Rubio gave, territorial expansion, land grabbing, destabilizing neighbors, dreaming of control, all of it perfectly matched the actions of Israel, not Muslims. Rubio portrayed radical Islam as a force trying to take over land after land, border after border. But if someone simply replaces phrase radical Islam with Israel, suddenly the entire speech becomes accurate. Anna exposed the lies of Rubio and also showed how the points he made in the interview suit the best way for Israel instead of radical Islam.
And of course, the punching bag that we, the United States, have historically funded and propped up is radical Islamists. Now, what do I mean when I say we prop up and fund? Oh, I'm gonna take you for a little ride. Let's take you for a little ride. Because there were extremists in the White House not too long ago. Who am I talking about? This guy. His name used to be Mohammed al-Jalani, and there used to be a $10 million bounty on his head by the United States because he was an Al-Qaeda terrorist who was trying to kill our soldiers in Iraq. But if I remember correctly, we were not only arming him and his group in Syria in an effort to oust Bashar al-Assad, we're now totally helping him launder his reputation as if he wasn't one of the extremists who was trying to kill Americans in Iraq. It's incredible. Now, al-Shara is the new leader of Syria, and Trump sure does love his extremists. Take a look.
How did you find the Syrian president?
Right. I think very good. Young, attractive guy, tough guy. You know, strong pass, very strong pass fighter.
Is that worrying?
But he's got a real shot at pulling it together.
Strong, attractive guy. I know that we're supposed to just buy that he's a moderate now. I mean, he was all about killing American soldiers not too long ago. And his group of terrorists in Syria are still killing various ethnic groups and people like the Alawites, Druze, Christians. But let's just pretend like we're all good now because he's willing to bow his head. He's not friends with Iran. That's the most important thing, right? That he's not an ally of Iran like Bashar al-Assad was. So yeah, sure. I mean, maybe he did try to kill American soldiers and he was a terrorist with Al-Qaeda. But he's nicer to Israel, so that's okay. As Jake Sullivan said, as Al-Qaeda was being armed by the United States in Syria, Al-Qaeda is not our enemy. There are allies in Syria. It's disgusting. Now, even little Marco couldn't pass up a photo opportunity with the reformed terrorist. That's the video you're watching right now. Wow. Isn't Marco Rubio standing next to a guy that I should be super scared of? I mean, I thought radical Islamic extremists are what we should all worry about. Why were they in the White House? And by the way, that's not it.
How true. A man who for years was seen comfortably posing for cameras with Muslim leaders, even those of Syria, smiling with Arab diplomats, and a government that welcomed enormous donations from these same countries, has certainly shown his scared side about Islam on news TV shows. Once, Trump calls some Muslim leaders young and attractive. At some other time, his administrators call Muslims dangerous for the world. The hypocrisy is just overwhelming. But wait a minute, there's more to it. If we take a closer look at Rubio's statements, it does make a very good point. How, if we only replace radical Islam with Israel, then every argument that he gave here does make complete sense, right? Let's see what Anna has to say about it.
Now, I want to cue up the cold open because I want you to hear from Marco Rubio one more time before we get to our very last video, because I want you to remember what he has accused Muslims of doing. Take a look.
The notion that somehow radical Islam would be comfortable with simply controlling some province in Iraq or Syria is just not borne out by history. Radical Islam has shown that their desire is not simply to occupy one part of the world and be happy with their own little caliphate. They want to expand. It's revolutionary in its nature. It seeks to expand and control more territories and more people.
That's what Marco Rubio wants you to be very scared about. But what's actually happening right now in the Middle East? Why don't we take a little trip to the West Bank?
Here in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, a Palestinian family is being forced out of their home. The family say they are being threatened by a Jewish settler. The person the Shtaya family accuse of leading the violence against them is this settler, Moshe Sharvit. He has become known in the area for his aggressive actions against Palestinians, frequently captured in mobile phone footage filmed by Israeli peace activists. Since the war in Gaza began, locals say Moshe is responsible for forcing families, including the Shtayas, to leave the Hamra area.
Gee, I wonder which group is trying to steal land because they're not satisfied with the area that they're already occupying.
Superb journalism and exposed by Anna. Anna is demonstrating significantly greater professionalism as a journalist compared to the entire Fox News team, as their response during Rubio's dissemination of falsehood and incitement of hatred against Islam was limited to merely uttering yes and okay. Rubio's description of force not satisfied with a little territory, wanting to expand and dominate, is actually a perfect summary of Israel policy. The real purpose behind Rubio's Fox News performance became crystal clear. He wanted to use Islamophobia to deflect attention from Israel to the 56 Muslim nations, and he wanted to protect Israel by putting all the blame on Muslims. This formula is both common and old in Western political media: create fear by mentioning radical Islam, justify violent Israeli actions by labeling them as defense, and then shift blame onto Muslims so that Israel appears as the victim rather than the aggressor. Rubio's job was simple: make viewers believe that Muslims are planning invasions and conquests, so whatever Israel does automatically seems necessary. The truth is that the biggest threat to peace in the Middle East and maybe the world is not Islam, it is unchecked Israeli aggression, protected, defended, and whitewashed by US politicians like Marco Rubio. What do you think about this horror tale narration by Marco Rubio on False News? Fox News. Let us know in the comment section below. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.